Hey, Sit Paint and Play fans! This is yet again another unboxing review. I personally haven't bought this yet, but I just thought I'd give you guys an idea of what's in it, kind of how that is going to function as a whole unit, some of their powers and stuff like that, and how I personally might run it. This is based off of what knowledge I do have of Age of Sigmar and other tabletop games. So this is King Vlagorescu's Ghoulish Host. However you pronounce that. Vlagorescu. I don't know. Regardless, though, it looks freaking awesome. The models in this look beautiful. They look simple to paint, but yet they have so much detail, even without all the color. They definitely look like they're going to be fun models to paint. So we'll keep this video rolling here. Although I have done a little bit of research for this video, this is kind of my first thing reading through things. So if I get some stuff wrong, I do apologize, guys. I am doing my absolute best to kind of get everything correct the first time and make sure that I read it to you properly. So here we go. So let's start with our hero, the Abhorrent Ghoul King on a Terrorgeist. First off, Terrorgeists in the first place are intense. They are awesome. And just adding a wizard on top of it definitely isn't helping your opponent. So it is flying. Its abilities are Death Shriek. The terrifying shriek of a Terrorgeist is enough to stop a warrior's heart, when making a Death Shriek attack, pick a target and roll a dice, adding the numbers shown in the damage table above. If the total number is higher than the unit's bravery, it suffers a number of more wounds equal to the difference. That's kind of cool. Gaping Maw. If the wound rolled for an attack made with a Terrorgeist Fanged Maw is 6 or more, the creature bites a great chunk out of its prey, or even swallows the whole. The attack inflicts 6 more wounds instead of its normal damage. Dang! That's freaking crazy. So basically, the Fanged Maw already is super intense. It's a 3-inch range attack. It's 3 attacks. It's a 4 to hit, 3 to wound. Has -2 rend and its damage d6. So already it's absolutely insane. Infested. When a Terrorgeist is finally destroyed, it explodes into a swarm of bats that feast on those nearby. When this model is slain, inflict d3 mortal wounds on each unit, friend or foe, within 3 inches of it before removing the model. That's crazy. Royal Blood. When this model heals d3 wounds in each of your hero phases. Cool. It also has a magic phase because it has a Ghoul King on top of it, which is a wizard. You can attempt to cast 1 spell in your hero phase, and he can also attempt to cast 1 spell during the enemy hero phase. He already knows Arcane Bolt and Mystic Shield and Unholy Vitality spell, and I'll read that to you here in a second. The Abhorrent Ghoul King infuses the crooked bodies of his minions with dark magic, making it incredibly difficult for the enemy to stop their ravenous onslaught. Unholy Vitality has a casting value of 6, which isn't bad. If successfully cast, pick a Flesh Eater Quartz unit within 18 inches. Until your next hero phase, roll a dice each time a model from the unit has suffered a wound or a mortal wound, and on a roll of 5 or 6, the wound is ignored. Cool. And then there's his command ability, Summon Royal Guard. If an Abhorrent Ghoul King uses this ability, then you can set up a new unit of up to 3 Crypt Horrors or Crypt Flayers within 3 inches of any edge of the battlefield, and more than 9 inches away from an enemy model unit. And it can't use in the movement phase. So already that guy's crazy. Tons of attacks, tons of hits. The Terrorgeist is doing most of the damage, and then the King does a little bit. Ooh, actually, he's not actually that bad. He's got a 1-inch range, 5 attacks, 3 to hit, 3 to wound, -1 rend, and 1 damage each, so can be pretty potent. And let's see, their stats, I'm sorry, I meant to start with this originally, there's an asterisk for move, and it can be up to 14 inches. They have a 4+ save, which kind of stinks, but that's not not the worst thing ever. They have 10 bravery, which is good, and they have 14 wounds. So these guys are pretty beastly as is. So not too worried about them as far as if I was playing them, but if I was playing against them, I would be horrified. This is definitely going to be a top model to definitely get rid of first things first. Alright, guys, up next we have Crypt Horrors. And honestly, the name does not do them enough justice. I was looking at some of the fan art for them and some of the art that kind of came out with the new release of this expansion, and these guys are nasty looking. Like they have like bits of bone fragments stuck through their arms as if, they had been fighting God knows what. They have flesh, ripped off, from ripped off of people, strung out all over the bone bits, and they're covered in blood all over the place, and they are just nasty looking, man. I'm not gonna lie, they look horrifying. If we were actually go up in these against these in battle, I'd be terrified. So let's look at their stats. They have a 7-inch move, which is pretty darn good, especially for like a beast type monster thing. Then 5+ save, kind of stinks, but you can make these guys pretty tough. 10 bravery, and then they have 4 wounds, so not bad. Let's see. Cryptic Haunter. The leader of this group is a Cryptic Haunter. A Cryptic Haunter makes 4 attacks. Well, they're really just getting around to making these short and sweet. Abilities. Warrior Elite. Each time you make a wound roll of 6 for a Crypt Horror, that inflicts 3 damage instead of 2. That's kind of cool. Noble Blood. Each Crypt Horror heals 1 wound in your hero phase. I see why they have less wounds. That is freaking nuts. Their normal attack is clubs and septic talons, so 1 inch, 3 attacks, 4 to hit, 3 to wound, no rend, 2 damage. They're not bad, so it's not terrible. And they have Chosen of the King. You can re-roll failed to hit rolls if this unit is within 15 inches of an orb horde Ghoul King. Dang, these guys are good, actually. So they can regen, they get an extra attack, and then they can re-roll to hit. So basically, these guys are like, these guys are intense, man. I like them. Alright, moving on to the next one. Alright, Crypt Ghouls. Their weapons are sharpened teeth and filthy claws. They sound like cats. And honestly, they're not, like, they're terrifying, but at the same time, like, the way they're all hunched over, they're kind of cute. Let's see, they have a 6-inch move, 6 save, 10 bravery, and 1 wound. They're basically just fodder, so you can get your bigger stuff in there. Let's see. Crypt Ghast. The leader of this unit is a Crypt Ghast. You can add 1 to wound rolls for a Crypt Ghast. So that's pretty good. Their abilities are Battalion Strength. Crypt Ghouls make an extra attack for their sharpened teeth and filthy claws if their unit has 20 or more models. What are they can? They don't carry weapons or anything. They only have 1 attack. Why specify? So you have 21 models, you get an extra attack. And then Royal Approval. You can re-roll to hit for. You can re-roll hit rolls of 1 for units of Crypt Ghouls that are within 15 inches of an abhorrent Ghoul King. So they re-roll the hit, and they get extra attacks if there's a whole bunch of them. So, pretty much a horde army. Bunch of little nasties running around, doing stuff you don't want them to do. They don't seem too bad. Alright, next is the Vargolf Courtier. This is the model I was really excited about. This guy's nasty. Let's see, he's got a 10-inch move, so that's good. 5+ save, which kind of stinks, but whatever. He's a monstrous beast, though, so he's probably just charging in there to kill. 10 bravery, and then they have 8 wounds, so that kind of makes up a little bit for the 5+ save. They can fly, so that's good. Their attacks are awesome. All of them are at least +3 or less. So you got 2-inch range, 4 attacks, +3 to hit, +3 to wound, -1 rend, 2 damage. Then you have 1-inch range, 1 attack, +3 to hit, +2 to wound, which is crazy. For basically for anybody. -2 rend, and then it's a D3 damage. Darn, these guys are good. Their abilities to the king. In each of your hero phases, roll 6 dice. For each roll of a 2 or more, add 1 model to a unit of crypt ghouls from your army within 10 inches. However, for any roll of 5 or more, you can instead add 1 model to a unit of crypt horrors or crypt flayers from your army within 10 inches. You can distribute these models between any units within the range you wish. That's insane. Why does it do that? Okay. It's actually here in the description. Blood gushing from its fanged maw and and matting its fur. The Balgroff quarter kills without restraint or reason. Even as enemies are heaped broken at its feet, it looses a piercing howl, calling warriors of the court to its side. So basically, it's literally like a support unit that's super intense. Um, Feed on dark magic. If this model is within 18 inches of a flesh eater quartz wizard that successfully casts a spell, you can re-roll any failed hits during that turn. Darn, dude. This is a huge support unit with a buttload of wounds. King's Champion. If there are at least 10 enemy models within 3 inches of a Vargolf courtier, after a Vargolf courtier piles in, it makes 6 attacks rather than 4 with its immense claws. So basically, you get more wounds. Victory Feast. A Vargolf courtier heals D3 wounds at the end of each combat phase in which it slew any models. Sweet. So basically, these guys are intense. You got a lot of bodies running around. All your main heavy hitters get extra attacks just for either having units on the board or for enemy models just simply being there. And then on top of that, they get to heal themselves. These guys are crazy. I like them. Man, shoot. I wish I had not done Sky. I wish I would have just saved my money and bought this instead. Shit. Alright, final one. Let's knock it out. Crypt Flayers. Why they're called Crypt Flayers, I don't know. They just have a bunch of... Maybe their wings are like razor sharp or something. Who knows? Oh, I see. They skewer their prey with piercing talons and claws. So, they have a 12-inch move. They have a 5+ save. They have 10 bravery, and they have 4 wounds. The leader of this unit is called a Crypt Infernal. A Crypt Infernal makes 5 attacks with its piercing talons and claws. Nuts. They can fly. Abilities. Skewering Strike. Each time you roll a hit roll of 6 for a Crypt Flayer piercing talons and claws, that attack has impaled its target, inflicting a mortal wound instead of normal damage. Ooh. Fearsome Battle Cry. Crypt Flayers can unleash a shrill scream that can kill and debilitate their victims. Each model in this unit can make a fearsome battle cry attack in your shooting phase. To do so, pick a target within 10 inches and roll a dice, adding 1 to the result. If the total is higher than that unit's bravery, it suffers a number of immortal wounds equal to the difference. Darn. Yeah, they aren't bad. It's 4 to hit, 3 to wound, -1 rend, 1 damage. So, these guys are okay. I would consider them more so a distraction unit. Pardon me, than anything. So, they don't seem too bad. They're definitely going to be a unit that's going to get in there and do a decent amount of damage before your actual heavy hitters show up. So, not bad. Alright, as far as running these guys, you're going to want to keep your Ghoul King on the Terrorgeist, basically running up the middle with everybody else. You're going to want your Crypt Horrors, your Crypt Ghouls, and your Vargolf within pretty much close range of your Abhorrent King, because within 15 inches they all get the extra attack, and the Vargolf also gets to make the call to call in extra units on the board. So you do have a little bit of summoning there, so I would have some backup models. Then you have your Crypt Flayers. I would just run them ahead of everybody since they have a faster movement speed than everybody, and kind of use them to wipe out what enemy models and stuff that you can. Maybe do some flanking with them. Depends on how you kind of want to play it. But Crypt Ghouls are definitely going to be out there first, making their attacks, bump up their unit sizes to 20 or more so you can get that extra attack. The Crypt Horrors, I would run them really close to the Ghoul King, kind of as a bodyguard almost, and use them to kind of wipe people out. And then once you get your Terrorgeist in there, using that maul, that 3-inch maul, is definitely going to be murderous to everybody. Crypt Flayers, use the Scream, like I said, to take stuff out. Vargoth, Gordier, uh, use that call. Ghouls, lots of attacks. Cryptors, those are going to be your powerhouses, and your Vargeist is going to be your powerhouse and your Dispel, and then Mystic Shielding or something like that if you need. I would focus on keeping your Terrorgeist alive because that's a lot of attacks from one model, and if you lose it, that's probably going to cost you a good chunky army. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that gave you maybe a little bit more of a download what's going on and keeps you updated and maybe interests you in getting into death. Who knows? These guys look awesome. They seem like they're pretty easy to paint. Just some red, some white, maybe some bone colors, some off eggshell white colors, a little bit of greenish, pale green color, some black. You know, we're really not looking at a whole lot. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed. Contact me at sitplateandplay@gmail.com. Leave comments in the comment section. Give me a comment, a like, subscribe, whatever catches your fancy. Anyways, I will catch you guys later. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And you guys take it easy. See you later.